Hey guys, Moose here. We are back with another episode of Stonehearth in our Ascendancy, there we go, playthrough. A little worried I wasn't going to have time to record this one. I had work started up again, and this is Friday, so I was doing kind of the end of the week work, but we're got some stuff going on over the weekend, and basically, long story short, I had a lot of extra work that I might not have otherwise needed to do. So, very busy day today, but hey, I got through all of it, and I even got some time in to watch some streams and play some games, so... Not a bad day overall. Feels good to be productive. Maybe not everything I would have liked to spend my time on. I still want to get started on making that game that I've mentioned a few times. Decided it's probably going to have to be... SDL looks like it might be a little bit too much for me to bite off and chew right now, so probably it's got to be... Game Maker Studio or whatever it is, which is fine, because I know how that works, I understand it, and I think that's fine. I don't think there's any real issue with that. So, I'll be doing that at some point. I gotta make it happen, though. Okay, so he just, like, imploded. Alright. Didn't I tell you idiots to guard up here? Could have sworn I did that. Did I totally fuck this and, like, not save after the last episode? No. I saved. I had to have saved. Yeah, I saved because there's dead people that I'm replacing. And the ladder's there? Yeah. Yeah, I saved. Okay, no problem. I was worried for a second. It seems strange. Oh, shit. Okay, well, I didn't get the trader because I was focusing on murdering the goblin that I didn't need to murder. So, fantastic. Oh well. But yeah, a lot of work today. It's good to end the weekend strong. It's putting me in a position where I'm actually going to be able to enjoy the weekend, so... But yeah, I do wish I had more time to spend on making that game. I'm doing a lot of thinking about it. Well, no, I won't go into detail about what because I probably won't ever even make it, so I don't want to, like, talk about it and say, like, hey, this amazing game is going to come, and then it's never going to come. And it's probably, like, even if I did start working on it now and, like, seriously put time into it, it'd probably still be, like, a year or two before I even put anything out. It's not simple. These things always take a great deal of time. I think I want to just sell these. I don't need them. So, yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I do want to do it at some point. It wasn't bronze, right? It was not tin, it was... copper? Which was the one that was a composite of the two? Let's pause real quick. Oh, it was bronze. Okay, I'm stupid. We're just gonna sell a shit ton of that then, because we don't need it. I probably should have looked at the price and said copper's 10, tin is 9, 12 is bronze, so it's gotta be bronze. But, you know, sometimes I'm stupid. But yeah, it's really fun to think about game mechanics. And all those things, but in the end it's... right now just work. But thankfully my bosses are... well, I'm like, I don't know. Okay, that was strange. I say bosses. I really... it's weird. Like, I'm transitioning from one boss to another, and right now I kind of have two. And they're both kind of good. They're good bosses. The issue is the people who are above them. Like, the people that I directly report to in my entire time at this company have always been pretty fantastic. They've had issues, like there's things about them that I've not really 100% liked, but they're reasonable issues that I don't really have a problem with. It's sort of like, okay, well, yeah, you know, that's just who you are. We disagree, but that doesn't mean either one of us is wrong. It just means that's how you feel and this is how I feel. I don't really have any issue with that. It's fine either way. So, it's not been difficult from that perspective. The problem is the people that my bosses tend to report to have historically been shit. Like, just stupid. And I actually had to... I didn't argue with him, but I tried to clarify something for someone who makes probably 5 to 10 times as much money as me. Because he said something that was very stupid. And I tried to explain, like, well, you may not realize, but because of this, this, and this, that's dumb. Obviously, I didn't tell him it was dumb. I was being polite and saying, well, I understand why that's a priority for you, but based on this, you shouldn't do that. And he just dismissed everything I said, so that's fantastic, but it's okay because it's not, in this particular situation, it's not... Engineering's gonna tell him to go fuck himself, basically. So I don't have to worry about it. It's not my concern. I was trying to save him some trouble, but if he wants to waste his time, that's fine. Granted, he doesn't seem to spend it on anything of importance anyway, so fuck it. Not my problem. But that's probably the first job I've ever had where I've had good... What was that? That was weird. Why'd he run away right away? That's so strange. What about this guy? There we go. It's the first job I've ever had where I've like actually liked my bosses. And I've had other jobs where the bosses were neutral. Well, no, that was a volunteering one. For the most part, I've disliked my bosses. The job I had before this one, which was actually how I got my current job, is... I respected her, but depending on which individual I'm referring... Because I kind of reported to two people as well. It was more like there's a bunch of people with varying seniority who don't have a clear hierarchy, but it's, you know... Certain ones are like actually... They have more power, I guess, but no one really had any power. It was just the one... It was a small business, so it's the one person made all the real decisions and then would be influenced by everyone else. So... But two of them I kind of reported. One hired me and the other one I actually reported to. So... The one that hired me was really cool and smart, and she was fucking awesome. I respect the hell out of her. But the one that I really reported to, that was like the overall boss, was well-meaning, not stupid, but not like... didn't necessarily have the business sense, I guess. If that makes sense. He's like, it's, you know, you get this with bosses, is they're good at one thing, but because it's their business or something, they kind of get shoved into everything when they really shouldn't be, and they don't know when to step back and trust people. And I don't blame them for that, because it's scary as fuck to have a business and trust someone with it, because it's really, it's not just your livelihood, it's not just a job. If it's your business, it's much, much more than that. So I get where she was coming from, and I respect it, but she probably should have just gone hands-off with that. But the jobs I had before that, fucking horrible. I mentioned I worked in retail for a bit, and I think that's... It pisses me off because my parents told me this, and I don't agree with it. It's like, okay, well, you have to work a shitty job to start out with, and I think that's bullshit. I don't think you have to work a shitty job to start out with. I think a lot of people do, because they don't have any other option, but the notion that you have to is stupid. If you're intelligent enough to make it in a, like, office job or something right off the bat, go fucking do it. Fuck office jobs, or fuck, like, shitty job, like McDonald's or retail. If you don't have to do that shit, don't fucking do it. But not having to do it doesn't mean you're smart enough that you don't need to do it. Not needing to do it means that you already have the work ethic to not do it. I probably... No, you know what? I can, based on my performance the second I started in that job, I had the work ethic to work somewhere. That was fine. I had already had my sense of self-worth eroded far enough that I was willing to ruin my life for a job, which I probably continue to do on an ongoing basis, but let's move past that. Oh good, they're attacking. I can kill this fucker. Let's hope that they listen to that. Doesn't look like they are. Yeah, see, as soon as I give them another order, they ignore that one. Interesting. Alright, well hopefully they'll kill him when he gets close. But yeah, the supervisors and the bosses, like the department manager at that job, it was 3 women and 1 man, and the gender doesn't matter, really. It's just who they were. I guess it's somewhat relevant to why I fucking hate the department manager. Because of what she was doing. Because a guy wouldn't be shopping for a purse, probably. But basically, like, this was a somewhat regular occurrence, and there's a couple examples of why I fucking hate this woman. But I'll start with, I'll probably talk about both in this episode. I'll start with the one that I remember better. So this was a pretty common occurrence. There's always bullshit, right? All these stores have their own fucking stupid customer credit card and all this shit that they give you. Some of them, if they're decent, they'll have actual benefits associated with it, and you'll get like discounts and things if you sign up for one of them. But a lot of those stores, there's literally no benefit to the customer. It's basically just take a chance. Here's a credit card with worse terms than usual, with the store name on it. And basically, if you fuck up and, don't pay your bills, we will basically end you. And that's all it ever is. So what winds up happening is they have a quota. And it's not usually the stores that do this. It's some asshole who, like, the guy who actually runs the credit cards is like a separate businessman. Separate business that comes in, like, sells the store on, like, hey, if you guys offer a store credit card, here's a blah, 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 and, like, sells them on offering it. And some outside, basically, predator comes in and tries to get the retail company to sell shit. Of course, they fucking do it every goddamn time. And with the bigger ones, maybe this isn't the case, but in my case, this was basically what happened. And it's the stupidest fucking thing. They offered no benefit to the customer. There was literally, if I went up to try and sell someone on something, my options were basically just to lie. And that was it. There was nothing I could say about that card that would be true and, like, a reason that the customer would want it. It's literally, it's a credit card. I don't think you even got, like, points off of it or anything. Any other credit card would have been better. And I'm not against signing up for store credit cards. The Amazon one is pretty good. I wouldn't use it. I don't use it. But, I got like $70 off of the computer that I built this Black Friday because of that. That was nice. Certainly doesn't hurt. Pretty much gonna cancel it as soon as I stop being lazy, but I'm not using it. A lot of them are worth just signing up for and then forgetting they exist, basically. Or canceling them immediately. That's probably the better option. But yeah, it's like there's absolutely no reason to sell anyone on this damn thing. And they have a quota and they say, well, you have to sell them. So that's, like, how? Like, the people they're hiring are not, like, expert salesmen. If you've ever, like, gone to an electronics shop, if you're lucky, you'll get people who know what they're talking about. If you're unlucky, you get people who've been forced into being a salesman who really have no salesman skills. And they're basically... what that means is they're just gonna lie to you. Because that's all they know how to do. Because what the fuck else do they know? They don't know anything. I mean, about being a salesman. And a lot of the time, they genuinely don't know anything. I was I took pride in, like, knowing what I was talking about. Like, if someone said, hey, I need a router, I was like, okay, well, explain to me what you want it for and, like, what you're trying to do, and I'll make sure that you get the best one for your price point. I took pride in doing a good job for those people who came in and wanted to buy something. But a lot of the people didn't give it. It was basically, all right, well, which one gives me the best commission? All right, you're buying that one. I don't care what you need. I want you to buy this one. And they'd sell people like that, and I don't approve of that. That's not okay with me. So I'm not a salesman, as you can see. But anyway, the point is, people would get written up constantly. All right, it's still full. That's a shame. I was going to harvest these, but I guess I probably shouldn't. I'll call another merchant. But yeah, so I would get written up, but it wasn't just me. It was everyone got written up all the time, because some of us were scummy. There was one Israeli guy in particular who I fucking hated, who would, like, he'd never do any of the actual work. He'd just, like, stand around talking until someone came into the aisle that had the expensive shit, and then he'd try and sell them something. Total piece of shit, didn't deserve any of the money he made. Really pissed me off, because he was not pulling his weight in the department overall. But, none of us could say, I think they're, like, the whole time, they got, like, one credit card there. In the entire time I was in that store. And it was, like, a full year, pretty much. And in that department, just to be clear, there are other departments, but in the one that I was in, they never got that, or the store warranty, or any of this bullshit. It's just like, anyone who knows what they're talking about will 100% of the time tell you they're a waste of money. Store warranty on electronics is idiotic. Don't get it from Newegg, don't get it from Amazon. All that shit comes with its own warranty already, and they're very, very, very good warranties too. Those companies do not fuck around when it comes to warranties, but anyway, that's besides the point. So what would happen is this department manager would pull us aside and say like, oh, you didn't sell them on this, you didn't sell them on that, what are you doing, what's your quota, you're not meeting your quota. No one ever fucking met their quota, but that didn't stop them from yelling at us, as I'm sure you are not surprised by if you've ever worked retail. And then not 2 minutes later, this fucking asshole woman would be back at like the main desk for the department. Oh shit. Which, you know, had our computers with internet connections and shit, so we could look things up, price check, price match, all that crap. And she'd just, and by the way, she never did any work ever. She'd just stand there and fuck around on the internet basically. And she'd go over there 2 minutes after yelling at us and writing us up and be like, hey Moose, come here. And like, what do you want? You just yelled at me, I fucking hate you, what do you want? We need to pause. The clerics are not here. Are they? Something's strange here. Please run away. Okay, now they're gonna fight. This should be fine. They're all coming in. So be like, what do you want? You just yelled at me, I don't like you. You're being a pain in the ass. And you've always been and I know your game, but you're always a pain in the ass. I don't want to deal with you. But it's your boss, you go. So I walk over, say, okay, what do you want? She says, hey, look at this. And she's got an Amazon page open on the computer. And she's looking to buy a purse. She's like, what do you think of this purse? And I just, like, there's so many times, and this was not like a one-time thing. She'd just fuck around on Amazon shopping for things all day. Like, that was all she did. And then she'd, like, have the balls to call us over and ask us for our opinion on stuff after she reamed us out for not selling fucking shitty store credit cards. And there were multiple times where I knew, I'm pretty in control, I don't generally lose my shit. That got close to pushing me over the edge. It was just completely unacceptable on so many levels. And and of course this is all while we're making fuck all money, and she's making way more than we are, and we all know it. And we all fucking hated her guts. Except, I guess, the supervisor. The supervisors tried to, like, talk us down, but we were fucking pissed all the time. Even the assholes in the department who I don't respect were pissed off at her non-stop. So anyway, she was a total asshole. But the other thing that she did is we do physical inventory, much like in my current job, but it's different because it's a retail store. So what you do is everyone got together, you get like most of the department would come in, and then you'd be working on pretty much one aisle at a time, but you'd still have a few people doing sales work. And of course, this is tedious, painful work, and as a salesman, you're expecting to come in and earn commission because that's a lot of your paycheck. They don't actually... I got lucky, the department I was in paid minimum wage base, and then you got commission on top of that. But a lot of the departments didn't have that. So if you're a salesman, you're working on physical inventory, you're basically like not getting paid. And you kind of are, because they have to pay you minimum wage. They have to give you a check for minimum wage at the end of the week. But they would actually say like, hey, you didn't make enough commission to cover what we paid you. We're going to deduct that amount from next week's commission. And they kept a rolling total like that, which is, I hope it better fucking be illegal. Because that was horseshit. But thankfully they didn't do that in my department. I always found that to be utter... What the hell, we're getting invaded again by a big one? It's a little bit too many, isn't it? That was always horseshit to me. Like, completely unacceptable horseshit. But they did it. And what the fuck are we gonna do about it? They can pay for lawyers. You think some idiot making minimum wage can pay for a lawyer? It's not how it works. So, small guy gets fucked. Completely normal. Moral of the story is, don't work retail, get a better job. And, if you're in school, make fucking sure you work hard enough, because you do not want to be trapped in that. And it doesn't, you know, you don't have to be a genius. You just need to work hard and at least put some effort in there and get a little bit lucky. And no one gets lucky the first time. I applied to like probably over 100 jobs before getting the one I'm at currently. So it takes time and effort. So don't get disheartened, but you know, always try to do your best and improve your life. Anyway, but during PI, what she would do, and this was one time, which is why I'm mentioning it second, but it's still completely fucking bullshit. We were all like, they said skip your break, which is illegal. But again, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, were you gonna take him to court? All that's gonna do is lose your job and guarantee that no one's gonna hire you. So no one says shit, you just, okay, well, we'll try and take a little bit of a break, but you know, you gotta work. So, you know, you keep doing what you can. And during this time, while we're like all starving, because we, you know, we're behind on lunch. It wasn't just skipping our breaks, by the way. It was also, they delayed lunch by a bit, I think, which is also illegal. There's a set amount of time that's supposed to pass between when you eat, when you have a break, and when you have lunch. Barring any agreement between the employees and the employer, which of course they would assert would have happened if we decided to raise a stink about it. But anyway, so we're all sitting there up on the ladders, counting all the shit on the fuck, what are they called? Shelves, right? That's the word. Can't believe I forgot the word for shelf. Counting all the products on the shelves, and the department manager starts walking down the aisle, eating a fucking burger, while we're all sitting there starving, and we turn around and look at her. And that time, I didn't lose my shit at her, but like I fucking, every person I talked to that day, I basically swore repeatedly about her. It's like, can you believe this fucking asshole? This is unreal. So yeah, I was pretty fucking mad, and I'm still pretty pissed off at that. But on the bright side, I make a shitload more money than her now. I know that for a fact. So I've seriously considered going back to that store and basically rubbing it in her face and saying, like, I make more in like 2 months than you make in a year or something. And that's not true, but I want to play it up like I'm way the fuck better off than she is, because she's such an asshole. But yeah. Anyway, enough of me being a petty prick, but I assure you, if anyone deserves it, it's her. So don't get too pissed at me for being an asshole. And also, I've never actually done that, so at least there's that. I don't know. Part of me says I shouldn't do it because it's a dick thing to do, but the other half says she's a total bitch. Maybe she deserves that, and maybe the people that are working for her now probably deserve to have someone to come in and defend them in that way and basically put her in her place. But then on the other hand, she'd probably take it out on them, so I don't know. People suck. I guess that's the overarching lesson here. But that is going to have to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching and putting up with my whining about my bosses previous. I can speak English. My previous bosses is what I meant to say. I feel like that's something a lot of you guys can probably relate to. It's unfortunate, but you know, the wealth gap is kind of growing if you're American, and there's a lot more people that are stuck in, you know, shitty, not necessarily dead-end, but pretty much dead-end jobs, working for people that don't care about them, don't give a shit what they're doing or what's going on in their lives, and dealing with basically the kind of shit that I just described. So hopefully that provides you a little bit of relief, and you can, you know, relate and enjoy some mental, like, hypothetical justice of treating that person like shit after they've treated you like shit. But hopefully, better yet, you're not even in that scenario. So anyway, like I said, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you join us in the next episode as well. Take care.